This time I decided to talk about the largest objects that are closely related to the history of mankind. Let's start with the pyramids in Giza, Egypt. This ancient Egyptian necropolis consists of the Pyramid of Khufu, known as the Great Pyramid, and the Pyramid of Cheops, the slightly smaller Pyramid of Chephren less than 200 meters to the southwest, and the relatively modestly sized Pyramid of Menkaure a few hundred meters further southwest, as well as a number of smaller satellite pyramids known as the Queen's Pyramids, the Paving Stone, and the Valley Pyramids. The slabs, weighing at least 2.5 tons, which make up the pyramids, were cut from stone in a nearby quarry and transported to the construction site by drag using ramps, blocks, and levers. 9. To prevent cracking of the pyramid walls due to thermal contraction and expansion, the individual blocks were separated by thin layers of mortar. The Pyramid of Cheops, Khufu, is the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world that has survived to this day. It is also a national treasure of Egypt. The Pyramid of Cheops, the second pharaoh of the IV dynasty, was the first and largest of the pyramids built on the Giza plateau. Prior to that, pyramids were built in Dasha, where, in particular, there are 2 pyramids built by Pharaoh Snefru, Khufu's father. But Khufu chose a place 40 kilometers from Dasha. To the west of the pyramid, in 1881, the ruins of the dwelling of the ancient pyramid builders were also discovered. It contained 91 rooms, each measuring 26 by 3 meters. Taj Mahal, India, a mausoleum in Agra. The monument is located 2 kilometers from the city of Agra, on the banks of the Jamna River. It was built by Emperor Shah Jahan Mughal as a mausoleum for his Persian wife Mumtaz Mahal. More than 20,000 craftsmen from all over the empire, as well as masters from Central Asia, Persia, and the Middle East, were invited to build the complex. According to an unconfirmed legend, a twin building made of black marble was supposed to be located on the other side of the river, but it was never completed. A grey marble bridge was supposed to connect the 2 buildings. Recently, cracks were discovered in the walls of the Taj Mahal. According to scientists, the cracks may be due to the shallowing of the Jamna River, which flows nearby. The disappearance of the river will lead to a change in soil structure and subsidence of the mausoleum, possibly even to its destruction. In the 10,400 square kilometers area around the Taj Mahal, known as the Taj Trapezoidal Zone, which includes 2 other UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Agra Fort and Fatehpur Sikri, special restrictions have been introduced to protect these historical monuments from pollution. The Great Wall of China. The 10,000 Li Wall, as the Chinese call it, stretches across northern China along the Yinshan mountain range, climbing high into the mountains and descending into deep gorges. Although some historians claim that the first walls appeared in this area as early as the 7th century BC, most scholars agree that they were built in the 3rd century BC during the Zhangguo period, or Warring States, 475–21 BC. At that time, nomads liked to attack and plunder the developed trade centers of fragmented Chinese kingdoms from behind the mountains. Therefore, the states of Qin, Wei, Yan, and Zhao began to build separate sections of the wall. However, when it comes to who ordered the construction of the Great Wall and why, the most commonly cited father of this wonder of the world is Emperor Qin Shi Huang, 259–10 BC. It was during his reign that the separate kingdoms were united into a vast empire that desperately needed reliable protection from nomads. Although some parts north of Beijing and near tourist centers have been preserved and even restored, in many places the wall is in a poor state of repair. Some parts have been destroyed because they interfered with modern construction. The Acropolis of Athens is the most famous acropolis in the world, located in the Greek capital Athens on the Acropolis Hill 156 meters above sea level. The Acropolis of Athens was officially proclaimed a leading monument of European cultural heritage on March 26, 2007. On June 20, 2009, the new Acropolis Museum was officially opened. Even in ancient times, the Acropolis was already a center of political and military life, as well as the place of residence of the ruler. At the end of the second millennium BC, the Acropolis acquired an exclusively cultic significance. The goddess Athena, on the one hand, was the patroness of the forces of the earth, fertility, and fertility Polyades, and on the other hand, she was the warlike defender of the city and the Virgin Palace. From 1898 until the Second World War, large-scale restoration work was carried out. Today, all the surviving antiquities of the Acropolis of Athens are presented in the new Acropolis Museum. Since 1987, the Acropolis of Athens has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the UNESCO organization itself uses a stylized image of the Parthenon in its logo. Since 1983, the Greek government has been negotiating with the British Museum to return the sculptures, so far unsuccessfully. Angkor Wat Temple in Cambodia. First Hindu, then Buddhist temple complex of the 12th century in Cambodia. Angkor Wat is the largest religious building and one of the most important archaeological sites in the world. It was built during the reign of King Suryavarman II. The complex was discovered in January 1860 by the French traveler Henri Mauo. In the 1970s, some of the buildings and sculptures of the complex were vandalized by Pol Pot's soldiers. In 1992, along with other buildings in the city, Angkor was placed under the auspices of UNESCO. Today it is one of the main tourist attractions in Cambodia. In 1995, the Cambodian authorities established the Apsara Authority, a government agency responsible for research, protection and preservation of the Angkor Archaeological Park. In 2014, Google took more than 1 million photos of Angkor as part of the Google Street View project. As a result, 90,000 panoramic images of more than 100 temples were created. In 2007, Angkor Wat was nominated for the 7 New Wonders of the World project and made it to the semi-finals. Statue of Liberty is a U.S. national monument, a symbol of freedom, democracy and justice. It is one of the most famous sculptures in the United States and in the world, often called the symbol of New York and the United States, the symbol of freedom and democracy, Lady Liberty. It is a gift from the French citizens to the centenary of the American Revolution. In 1856, the French law professor and public figure Édouard de La Boulaye, meeting with the young sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, put forward the idea of building a monument, which was originally conceived as a monument in honor of the American War of Independence. The Statue of Liberty was unveiled on October 28, 1886, with a speech by U.S. President Grover Cleveland, in the presence of thousands of spectators. As a French gift to the centennial of the American Revolution, it was 10 years late. As the national symbol of America, the Statue of Liberty has been repeatedly depicted on coins and postage stamps. It first appeared on commemorative coins in 1986 to mark its centennial. Stonehenge in the UK. Hanging Stones, a megalith consisting of several circles of giant stones. It is located in England on a hilly wasteland near the city of Salisbury, Wiltshire, 130 kilometers southwest of London on the Salisbury Plain. It began construction around 3000 BC and became a stable site around 2500 BC. The site of Stonehenge was originally home to several places of worship, 4 or 5 pits, 3 of which may have had large pine pillars, similar to totem poles. Their construction dates back to the Mesolithic period, between 8500 and 7000 BC. It is not known how these structures are connected to the later Stonehenge. The landscape may have contributed to the use of this particular site, as the area was not covered by forest due to shallow chalk deposits. In December 2015, archaeologists announced that they had discovered 2 quarries in the Preseli Mountains from which the blue stones were quarried about 225 kilometers from Stonehenge. According to Welsh scientist Brian John, people did not build Stonehenge. The boulders were brought to England by a glacier, and the circles in which they are located are the result of repeated freezing and thawing of permafrost during the Ice Age. Thank you for watching. Please rate this video and leave a comment.